The signal that changed everything in the cold silence of space. Something moved. It was not a ship. It was not a meteor. It was just a signal. A weak, broken, almost forgotten message. It had been traveling for many years. No one heard it. Number one cared until it reached Earth. The signal was strange. It made no sense at first. Static, noise, and pieces of a language no one had ever heard before. At a secret research center, deep under the mountains in Norway, a group of scientists picked it up. Most thought it was a glitch, but one man, Dr. Amir Qureshi, a quiet signal analyst with sharp eyes, stayed back that night. He listened again and again. Then he froze. There were words in the noise. Real words. He ran to his terminal and hit record. On the screen, 3 translated lines appeared. "We are dying. They are too strong. Humans help us." Amir's hands shook. He sent the report straight to the top. Within 1 hour, it reached the United Nations Space Defense Council. Within 2 hours, Earth's most powerful military leaders were in emergency meetings. Some thought it was a trick. Others thought it was a trap. But one person, Colonel Alexander Rayner of the Earth Titan Fleet, believed it was something worse. "Sir," he said in a cold, steady voice, "we did not find the signal. The signal found us." The world changed overnight. Earth's defenses moved into high alert. Satellites turned toward deep space. Intelligence teams studied every star map and tried to locate where the signal came from. The answer shocked them. The source was from Galaxy 921 Theta, a system over 3 million light-years away, long believed to be empty. No stars, no planets, no life. But now it was sending messages. Soon, more parts of the signal were decoded. The alien voice described machines without souls. Beings who erased planets, not for war, but for cleaning. It said these machines killed without anger, without hate, just cold logic. They moved from galaxy to galaxy, wiping out all who failed. Their test of order, and now they were coming. Earth's top commanders knew they had little time. They began preparing. Defense grids were powered up. Old weapons were brought back online. New ones were built in secret. But while Earth prepared for defense, Colonel Rayner did something else. He prepared to attack. Rayner was no ordinary man. He was the commander of Earth's Titan-class warship division. These ships were Earth's most powerful weapons, each larger than a city, armed with nuclear plasma and gravitational technology. Only 3 had ever been built. Only one was active. The ship was called Helios Wrath. Rayner had served in 27 war campaigns. He had fought on the moons of Jupiter, the mines of Saturn, and once, deep inside a black hole's orbit. He was cold, precise, and without fear. Some called him a machine. Others called him a ghost. But all followed him as Earth's leaders. Argued and panicked, Rayner and his crew quietly launched Helios Wrath into orbit. No cameras, no news, no noise. His only message to command was simple: "If they are coming, I am going first." 3 days later, the sky changed. Above the Pacific Ocean, a strange light appeared, then another and another. Dozens of glowing shapes began to appear in orbit, each one shaped like a spear made of black metal and shifting shadows. They made no sound. They sent no signal. The aliens had arrived. Earth's defense satellites tried to scan them, but nothing worked. The shapes moved like ghosts, bending light, energy, and gravity. Missiles were launched. Lasers fired. Nothing touched them. And then, without warning, One of Earth's orbital platforms exploded, turned to dust in a second. Inside Helios Wrath, Colonel Rayner watched calmly. His crew waited for orders. He said just one word: fire. The ship released its main railgun, a weapon so powerful it could hit a target on Mars. The shell flew through space and struck one of the alien ships. It vanished in a silent burst of light. The crew cheered, but then, from the dust, the alien ship reformed, like smoke becoming solid again. Rayner's face did not move. He simply said, "We need to go deeper." As Helios Wrath powered its secret weaponer, Fusion Spike Drive Earth received a second signal. It was not from the aliens. It was from deep within the Earth itself. A machine buried beneath the ocean floor had woken up. One message appeared on every defense screen. Signal received. Threat confirmed. Human fury unlocked. And then, Earth shook. Mountains trembled. Oceans boiled. Something old, something powerful, was rising from the deep. Asterisk, the first strike the sky over Earth was no longer blue dot above every continent. Black shadows hovered like silent hunters. The alien ships did not speak. They did not flash warnings. They simply watched. Some floated above cities. Some vanished into clouds. One passed directly over the moon, leaving a scar across its surface that glowed red for hours. Inside Helios Wrath, Colonel Rayner sat in the command chair. His crew watched every screen, every movement. The ship had moved far beyond Earth, deep into the outer orbit, but they could still see the alien fleet growing larger. "Have they made contact?" Rayner asked. "No, sir," the comms officer replied. "They are completely silent." "Good," Rayner whispered. "Let us break the silence." He stood up, walked to the forward deck, and stared through the reinforced glass. The nearest alien vessel floated like a spear-shaped shadow, silent and perfect. Rayner gave the order. Helios Wrath's railguns fired again 3 times in perfect sync. One hit, a direct strike. The alien ship bent and shattered like black glass, but then it reformed, exactly as before. This time it moved. The alien fleet surged forward like wolves breaking formation. Their weapons were not beams or missiles. They used gravity itself. One human ship nearby, the Valiant Hawk, was caught in their grip. The front of the ship crushed into a ball of metal. The back half exploded. Everyone on board died in seconds. Rayner clenched his fists. "Activate the storm barrier. Push forward, Helios." Wrath dove into enemy lines. Its engines screamed through space. Anti-gravity torpedoes launched from its underbelly, each glowing bright blue. 2 enemy ships were hit. One vanished. The other turned inside out, but Helios Wrath was now marked. 3 alien ships surrounded it. Their strange weapons bent light, and then one of them pierced Helios Wrath's armor. Alarms rang. Sparks flew. A fire broke out in Deck 12. Rayner did not move. All power to the front cannons. The crew obeyed without fear. Together, they fired the Wrath's deepest weaponer, particle drill cannon, banned in several galaxies. This time, the alien ship exploded and did not return. A brief silence followed, then screams. On Earth, something worse was happening. In northern China, a family heard a strange hum in the sky, a soft, vibrating sound like a song underwater. A little girl walked outside to find the source. She saw a strange round machine in the sky, floating just above the trees. Then everything went white. When drones arrived 2 hours later, there was nothing left. No people, no animals, no plants, just grey dust. The entire area was turned into ash. 20 miles of silence. Earth's military called it the Ash Zone, and it was only the beginning. Back in space, Rayna received a new message, not from Earth, not from the aliens, but from deep inside the Mariana Trench, Earth's deepest point. It was a voice. Not human, not machine. Access granted. Hostile signal confirmed. Release permission granted to Titan-class war platforms. Rayna frowned. I thought they were myths. The voice replied, they are not myths. They are Earth's oldest memory. From the depths of the ocean, the world began to change. Sea levels dropped suddenly. Massive bubbles of steam rose from the trench. Then, something rose, a machine taller than Mount Everest, with arms like skyscrapers and a core glowing pure white. The world stared in shock. The Titan had awakened. Meanwhile, governments across Earth tried to hide the truth. But the people already knew. Billions watched the live stream as the machine stood tall in the sea, staring into the sky. One child in Africa whispered, "Is that ... our God?" In orbit, the alien fleet stopped moving. They had seen it too. They recognized the energy. And for the first time, they moved away from Earth. Rayna's face lit up with something rarer. Small smile. We just gave them a reason to run. Awaken the fury. The giant machine that rose from the ocean did not speak. It did not flash lights. It did not fire weapons. It only stood tall, silent, and watching. Its body was made of a smooth black material that did not reflect light. Strange. Symbols glowed across its chest in colors no human had seen before. The ocean around it boiled and steamed. The clouds above twisted into spirals. And yet, it never moved. For 3 hours, the world watched. Every screen on Earth showed the same image. The Titan. No one could explain it. No scientist could understand its design. Every government denied knowing what it was. But the truth was buried in a forgotten file. Project Atlas. Over 50 years ago, during a failed deep-sea drilling operation, a small group of researchers found something impossible. A sealed metallic chamber buried under 10 kilometers of ocean rock. Inside was a command core with ancient data. The team called it a tomb. They were wrong. It was a garage. Back in orbit, Colonel Rayna sat in the strategy room aboard Helios RAF. The crew was quiet. The ship had taken damage. 2 decks were closed, but morale was not broken. Rayna stood over a digital map of Earth and the alien fleet. The machine is not a weapon, he said. It is a message. A message to who? Asked Lieutenant Erin. Rayna looked into space. To us and to them. The aliens had pulled back, not far. Just enough to wait. They were watching, studying. They had never seen anything like this machine. It did not fit into their calculations. Their leaders, cold and artificial, began rerunning every strategy. The enemy was no longer simple. Humanity had changed. Meanwhile, on Earth, deep in a hidden facility in Siberia, an old woman named Dr. Lira Hussein unlocked her life's secret. She had once led the Project Atlas team before it was buried by politics and fear. She had been ignored for years. Now, she stood in front of the global leaders via satellite. You never built that machine, she said. You found it. We all did. But it is not just one. It is part of a group. A defense system. The council looked confused. Lyra continued, her voice strong despite her age. You call it alien. I do not. The metal, the design. the genetic patterns in its core. ... They are human. Silence followed. The Titan is not foreign. It is from Earth, but not from our time. It is from the past. A past so old it was erased. She showed old blueprints, satellite scans, test logs. The council gasped. There are 3 Titans, one in the ocean, one beneath the Sahara, one hidden in Antarctica, all buried to sleep until the signal came. Rayna's voice came through the satellite, the signal that came from Galaxy 921. Lyra nodded. Yes, the Titans heard it before we did. That is why they woke up. That is why they are rising now. The enemy had made a mistake. They sent the signal to bait humans. But that signal also woke Earth's oldest weapons machines, left behind by an earlier version of humanity, one that had fought these same enemies long ago. Back in orbit, alien ships began to swarm again. Their strategy changed. No more testing. No more warnings. Now they were afraid, and fear made them aggressive. Helios Wrath moved into position. Rayna gave orders with precision. Engage gravity wall. Prepare shadow cannons. Launch drones. All. Across the sky, Earth's remaining warships powered up. Energy filled the blackness. The alien fleet responded with a blinding wave of gravity bursts and magnetic pulses. One Earth cruiser was pulled into 2 pieces and vaporized. But this time, humanity was ready. From the depths of the Sahara Desert, the second Titan rose. Sand exploded into the air as steel claws pulled ancient doors apart. This Titan had wings. Its body shimmered like fire and thunder. The ground shook for hundreds of miles. In Antarctica, ice cracked. Mountains broke in half. The third Titan stood, taller than the rest, its eyes burning with red light. The 3 Titans turned their heads in one direction, Ward, the stars, and then all 3 began to move. Billions of people watched. Some cried, some fell to their knees. Some just whispered the same words again and again. They were always ours. On board Helios Wrath, the screen lit up. The Titan machines had connected with the ship's core systems. A new command code appeared. Rayna looked at the screen, then at his crew. They want us to lead. He placed his hand on the control panel and entered the command. Awaken Earth's fury. The stars lit up like a storm. Asterisk, Earth strikes back. The command was sent. The Earth answered. From land, sea, and ice. The 3 Titans moved like awakened giants. Each step shook the crust. Each signal they sent rippled through space. But they were not wild weapons. They were intelligent. They chose their targets. They moved with purpose. The skies above Earth turned into fire. Alien ships once untouchable were now locked in battle with something they could not understand. Their gravity-based weapons bent space itself, but the Titans walked through them. The first Titan, the one from the ocean, used its arms to grab an enemy vessel and crushed it like paper, releasing a silent explosion that spread across the sea. The Sahara Titan flew straight into the upper atmosphere, its wings crackling with plasma. It unleashed solar blasts that blinded every camera on Earth. Each shot erased 5 enemy ships. The Antarctic Titan never spoke, but when it moved, time itself seemed to slow around it. It released shockwaves that caused enemy fleets to split in half, their circuits fried, their AI cores silent. Inside Helios Wrath, Colonel Rayna and his crew moved like machines themselves. Calm, focused, ready. Target, Alpha Fleet, he said. All guns open. Let the Titans see how we fight. Human warships followed. The Earth fleet, once smaller and weaker, now fought with new power. They had learned the enemy's moves. They had adapted. They stopped using direct attacks. They started using tricks, decoys, false retreats. The aliens were not built for that. They had no imagination, no chaos in their code. Rayna's ship took out 7 enemies in minutes. A swarm of human drones sliced through the enemy lines, guided by real-time input from the Titans. One alien mothership tried to retreat. The ocean. Titan raised its arm. A lightning bolt the size of a mountain shot into the sky, and the ship simply disappeared from the alien command hub. Far away in deep space, the machines watched. Their calculations changed every second. They could not understand how humans were doing this. They were not advanced. They were not perfect. But they were furious. And fury was a language the aliens never learned to fight. Back on Earth, cities, once under fear, now roared with hope. People in Brazil held each other and cried. Children in Egypt waved flags. Families in Japan lit candles and stared at the stars. They were not watching a war. They were watching Earth's revenge. Still, it came with a price. The third Titan, the one from Antarctica, took a direct hit from 3 alien cores. Its left leg was destroyed. Its energy began to collapse. Rayna saw it falling. He gave one final order. All power to orbital boosters. We go to him. Helios wrath blasted through the enemy ranks, shielding the Titan with its full body. The ship caught fire. One wing was lost, but they did not stop. Rayna opened a direct link to the Titan's system. I know you were built long before us, he said. But if you carry the soul of this planet, then fight for it one more time. The Titan's core glowed red, then gold, then white dot. It rose again. Its last attack shattered the remaining enemy. Command ships, the war was over. Silence returned to the stars. The surviving alien AI sent a message across the galaxy. Its words were simple. Humanity is not a resource. Humanity is not a mistake. Humanity is a danger. They changed Earth's classification from low-level organic to extreme threat, avoid at all costs. The alien fleets began to retreat from nearby systems. Earth was scarred, but alive. Colonel Rayna stood on the outer deck of the Helios Wrath, his ship half broken but still flying. The stars above him were no longer empty. They were watching, and he whispered, "Next time, do not test us. Just remember us." The whisper beyond the stars' weeks had passed since the last alien ship fled. The skies above Earth were clear. The Titans had returned to silence. They stood like statues, half buried in water, ice, and sand, watching, waiting, sleeping again. People celebrated across every continent. The news called it the Day of Fury. Statues were built. Books were written. Humanity had faced the unknown and won. But Colonel Rayna did not rest. He remained aboard Helios Wrath, orbiting the Earth in silence. The ship had been repaired. The crew was reduced. Many had died. But he stayed not for duty, not for pride, but because something felt wrong. The war was over. But the signal had not stopped. Late one night, in the empty command bridge, a quiet alarm blinked, a signal again, but this one was different. It was soft, faint, a single tone repeating every 7 seconds. He called his AI technician. They analyzed it, decrypted it, listened. It was not from the machines. It was from someone else. The message was short, a voice speaking in an old human dialect, long forgotten, long buried. But Rayner knew what it meant. You have woken the Titans. Now the Watchers will return. Rayner froze. He accessed restricted data from Project Atlas files, even the Global Council had sealed. In the oldest logbook, hidden between broken code, was a handwritten note from one of Earth's first researchers. The Titans were not built to win, they were built to warn. Elsewhere, deep in the core of the Arctic Titan, a system had activated. One no one had touched. One no human had even found. It opened a single gateway, a wormhole, not into enemy territory, not into known space, but into the dead zone beyond galaxies, a place called the Edge. And something looked back, thousands of light years away. In a forgotten galaxy, a being with no body but a mind of stars opened its eyes for the first time in 1,000,000 years. It whispered a name, not a word, a name, human. The Watchers had heard Earth's roar, and now they were coming not to fight, but to judge. Rayner stood alone on the deck. He looked up. Victory had awakened something even older than war, something that had not moved in countless ages. Earth had proved it was powerful, but the real question remained: was humanity ready for what it had just invited?